Alba Quintana drives through the night toward Varela de Mar, an Asturian hamlet of 233 souls, a beach that vanishes at high tide, and an abandoned lighthouse. She ran from the village 5 years earlier. Now she is forced back by a string of failed university degrees and, above all, by the fog of Alzheimer's that is swallowing her grandfather Pelayo, the last keeper of the lighthouse. Crossing the village boundary is like walking into a double wound. The guilt of having left the old man alone and the memory of a teenage love story that ended in ruin. She parks beside the stone house and feels time snag on her skin. The spotted curtains her grandmother sewed still hang in the windows, the red geraniums still guard the doorway, and silence lies over everything like dust on a photograph. When Pelayo opens the door, he mistakes her for his daughter, Ida. That slip inaugurates a daily litany of misunderstandings. Alba smiles as best she can, knowing she must look after a man who is shipwrecking inside his own memories. Not even her first dawn back is quiet. A soft click wakes her. Pelayo, in pajamas and slippers, is slipping outside with a golden key that hangs on the third hook. An hour later, he returns empty-pocketed. Next morning, Enol Viller, boyhood friend, now fisherman cook, linchpin of the old love triangle, confirms it happens most mornings. Pelayo always walks toward the seafront before sunrise. The discovery rekindles the tension between Enol and Alba. He has been leaving food for the Ferrero for years. She hears help and unspoken judgment mixed in his voice. Sparks hover, pride bristles, and both remember the last summer when, amid laughter, naked swims, and ice-cold leaps from the pier, they first kissed and then parted with a scar that never healed. While airing the house, Alba finds medical brochures, Alzheimer's disease. Mild, moderate, and severe phases, and underlines every symptom that has already arrived, panicking at the ones still to come. Pelayo rejects the idea of a babysitter. Life runs, girl. One day you're a boy sneaking cigarettes on the cliffs. The next you're an old man with aches. Beneath the pride, something more than dignity is hiding. The lighthouse is a lifeline he refuses to surrender. Determined to discover why, Alba follows him one sleepless night into the tower. Rust covers the lantern, but on a mid-level wall she finds hundreds of handwritten slips. Our first kiss in a tower. The song we danced to before you left. The freckle below your navel, a lost constellation. They are not nautical notes but fragments of a love story. Ashamed yet fascinated, she films each phrase. The suspicion dawns that her grandfather once loved someone other than her grandmother. Pieces fall into place during a rare lucid spell when Pelayo calls her my love, and weeps over a spring morning in the lighthouse. Two young men sharing a cigarette, knees brushing, the world shrinking to just them. Alba scours archives, photographs, and gossip until the name appears. Manuel, a marine engineer who surveyed the coast in the late 1960s. The sea, the novel's intermittent narrator, remembers Pelayo's bright introduction. I want to show you my tower. Their affair was clandestine, impossible in its era, yet so powerful it etched itself into every stone of the lighthouse. Manuel had to leave. Reunion proved impossible. Pelayo married, raised Ida, but glued his memories to the wall so that love would not die. Alba realizes those slips are the anchor keeping him present. A secret locked away in a tower that once lit the sea. She vows to protect them. With Enol's reluctant help, she cleans the chamber, laminates the papers, arranges them chronologically. Working side by side rekindles their old complicity. Talk of tides, failed photographs, fear of new mistakes. High in the tower, under a lantern that no longer turns, they kiss again. I don't want this to be a summer love. I want to love you without an expiry date. The lighthouse glows once more, if only inside their chests. The disease grants no mercy. One afternoon, Pelayo vanishes. They find him confused on the beach. Alba accepts the end is near. She writes a notebook retelling the Pelayo-Manuel romance and reads it to him nightly, passing it through the heart, again and again. He smiles, cries, and sometimes mistakes her for the boy with dry-leaf eyes. When the fog finally surrounds him, he surrenders. He dies before dawn in his armchair, clutching the last slip, the smile of my life. 5 years later, Alba returns to the Biscay Cliffs in a yellow dress. Enol beside her with flip-flops slapping rock and a cigarette behind his ear. They carry a tin. Pelayo's ashes rest inside. Enol opens it and lets the wind scatter the gray dust over the breakers. "How's the sea today, tide boy?" Alba asks. "Perfect for a reunion," he answers, then kisses her fingers and laces them through his. The lighthouse, silent witness, seems less abandoned. The yellowed papers still flutter where a man pinned down his history. Alba and Enol promise to keep the light alive. They know that, like the beach that vanishes and returns with every tide, sleeping loves can wake if someone calls them by name. Pelayo rests at last where he always belonged, in the ocean's pulse. Alba has found her place between camera and notebook, tenderness and salt, and Enol understands that not every first love is born with its ending written. Varela de Mar remains small. The lighthouse stays dark. Waves keep chewing the rocks. Yet each dawn, when a gull cuts the sky and the air smells of coffee and sugar, someone in the village remembers that the sea eventually returns everything, especially memories. And then, just like Pelayo, they pass them through the heart one more time.